By now many of you are aware of this blasphemous music video by Lil Nas X titled J Christ. He also posted this video prior to the release of the J Christ music video. A warning from the Apostle Paul in 1 Corinthians 11:27. Therefore whoever eats the bread or drinks the cup of the Lord in an unworthy manner shall be guilty of the body and the blood of the Lord. And verse 30, that is why many of you are weak, and ill, and some have died. Now listen to Pastor Vernon's strong warning to Lil Nas X.
I just got word about some black rapper, Lil Nas. And Lil Nas drops the J Christ. And I guess I didn't know, and thank you, YF, because some of YF, you know, it's a trip when even young people are saying, is Pastor going to say something about that? I didn't even know, because that kind of stuff is too messy for me to even know about or to watch about. But I had to look at it and come to find out Lil Nas got himself on the cross. On the cross. I think it's right behind me. On the cross, showing himself or depicting himself as Jesus. Yeah, playing like he's Jesus, and then worse than that, he's serving communion and playing with communion with a perm in his head and acting like he's playing with communion. And I thought to myself, I guess he don't know. There's still some prophets alive. And so now, just in case you're watching, before I talk to you, I want to read to you. 1 Corinthians 11, verse 26. Every time you eat this bread and drink from this cup, you tell about the Lord's death until he comes. Therefore, whoever eats the bread or drinks from the Lord's cup in an improper way will be held responsible for the Lord's body and blood. With this in mind, individuals must determine whether what they are doing is proper when they eat the bread and drink from the cup. Anyone who eats and drinks is eating and drinking a judgment against himself when he doesn't recognize the Lord's body. This is the reason why many of you are weak and sick, and quite a number of you have died. I've hurt God's feelings before, but hit 5 people and say, I don't play with God. Little Nas, if you're watching me, play with the little girls, or I guess you like the boys. Whatever you're dealing with, that's a whole nother subject, but don't play with God. Maybe you got stuff I don't agree with in your life. I'll let you have that. But don't you start playing with the supper, and don't you start playing with the cross, because it was at the cross where I first saw the light, and the burden of my heart rolled away. Woo! Slap somebody and say, at the cross. Go ahead. Don't play with the cross. Watch this. And Lil Nas, please do us a favor. As Christians, don't play with the blood, because it was the blood that washed me white as snow. It was the blood that washed my sins away. It was the blood that paid for all of my mess ups. It was the blood. Do me a favor. Hit 5 people, say nothing but the blood. That's the wrong person. It's about to get bloody in here. Would you walk over to 5 people, shake their hand and say, the blood cleansed me. Go ahead. The blood made me whole. Go ahead. The blood gave me another chance. The blood redeemed me. The blood washed me. It was at the cross where I first saw the light, and the burdens of my heart rolled away. It was there by faith I received my sight, and now I'm happy all the day. Little Nas, if you watch it, I got an old school song to go along with your rap. There are some things I may not know. There are some places I may not go, but I'm sure of this one thing, that God is real, because he's real in my heart. Don't play with God, brother Nas. I can't be quiet. Don't play with the cross. Don't play with communion. And in full transparency, because again, I'm not attempting to go viral, I'm sincerely trying to help him. And I read his apology, because I like to be informed before I talk. And all full disclosure, he did issue an apology, but the apology to me seemed more like damage control than repentance. Because what he found out is even people who don't go to church don't want you playing with Jesus. Even other rappers was like, bruh. Bros in the street was like, bruh, we know we ain't right, but don't play with Jesus. Do whatever you gonna do.
I don't know what the, man, this dude Lil Nas X, it's the most disrespectful I ever seen in my life. I can't even get my words out. Bruh, find you something else to play with besides Jesus. If you don't believe in Jesus or none of that, then you just don't play with it at all, bro. You ain't gotta believe in it, but don't play with that, bro. Don't play with nobody religion. That's some down bad. They always ask me what I thought about you, and I try not to be disrespectful, you know what I'm saying, do the, you know, how everything works, but nah, that. You's a foul, disrespectful cat. And you gonna really go out there and play with Jesus like that, the Last Supper? So you think Jesus is something to play with? It's just a toy. You think just because you got your community behind you that you can just do anything at this point, huh? Well, you got life up. And we slide behind Jesus. Ain't nobody playing like that, boy. Now I see why such and such was on your head like that. Cause he seen that you was a straight playing with Jesus like that. You was a mob.
And when he found out that he got canceled over Christ, because even non-church people, particularly black people, would tell you, I know I ain't right, but I don't play with God. No, that's too far. Even other rappers. So to me, I didn't see repentance. I saw damage control. I saw damage control. Jesus is calling you, my beautiful black brother, to give your heart to him. So anybody that might be connected, I appreciate if you tag him on this and get him this video, because our goal is not to have a hot sermon moment, but to see him come to salvation.